Unloading, loading, sanitation positions, and the recoup salvage areas. Oh, and the returns are valet clerks. All these positions are sometimes listed and advertised as GL or general labor positions, and I'm not sure why. I was speaking with a few people online. They seemed to be shying away from a loader job that was listed on one of the larger job boards. It wasn't one of mine, but I joined in the discussion anyway. I thought it might be because it was a second shift job. The start time was 7 p.m. The pay was listed and it seemed like a fair and market rate for the area. The advertisement was for a full-time position with a national distribution center. Now, the social media post was receiving quite mixed replies. Not about the hours or the money, but people kept calling it just a general labor job. Now, and I've been doing this for quite a while, but what is just a general labor job? I can assure you that none of the 6 positions I just mentioned are general labor jobs. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Warehouse and Operations as a Career. I'm Marty, and we're not going to talk about GL tasks today. I would like to speak to a couple of those jobs. Some people might equate to being general labor tasks. Maybe I can explain why I don't think of them as general labor jobs at all. So let's start with the job of loading, since that was the position the job board had listed. A few of the comments were, "I'm not a general laborer." Now, I want to point out that nowhere in the ad was the words general labor used. Another person stated that she had been a general laborer 5 years ago, and she wasn't going backwards. Now, that one really kind of stumped me. I'm assuming, and probably shouldn't assume anything when it comes to a post on social media, but I'd think that if I'm not working, accepting any job is actually moving forward. And I really like this one. Not for me. Loading trucks is hard work. Now you have to admire the honesty, right? Not sure why they had to comment, but we all have opinions, I guess. See what I mean? The comments weren't about the hours or the pay or the company. They all mentioned the position, and a few threw in the words general labor. Now, in defense of all the replies, being a loader back, maybe 10 years ago, the position was a GL task. But I doubt, or from the few profiles that I took the time to look at, I didn't see anyone that would have known that. Being a loader a while back was as simple as unloading your freight from buggies or carts that had been selected by order selectors and hand stacking them on the floor of the trailer, building your load as you went. Trailers and containers would be stacked from floor to ceiling and from side to side. Your company didn't make money hauling air. I had a supervisor once get on me because he could see a few spaces between my stacks or along the side of the trailer that I was loading. He explained that a good load was one that a mouse placed at the end of the dock plate couldn't find a way to enter the trailer. I would literally work an 8 to 10 hour shift, sometimes even more, without ever looking at a load sheet, a mapping diagram, a loading manifest, or an unloading schematic. And I do all that without ever scanning a barcode or verifying a batch number for the driver to know where to find a specific product in an exact zone or spot on a particular pallet. I was considered a general laborer at the time. But today, well, things are more than a little different. Everything I just mentioned can be a part of their jobs and more. Technology now touches the loading jobs. I consider loading to be a skilled position. Learning to read a load map and knowing how to place the pallets onto the trailer so the driver can identify each stop is a skill. Shoot, it's a science in today's world. You know, very rarely, at least in the delivery or route world, will we be loading a trailer on the floor anymore. And even then, most of the time now, we'll be scanning a batch of boxes or every box, confirming that we've loaded them on the trailer or in a container. Even in the bulk world, or where we're loading pallets by using a forklift, we'll have responsibilities. I want to mention real quick, it is our responsibility as a loader that we make sure the wheels are chocked and the jack stand is in place up front if the trailer is not connected to a tractor. And even when we're loading with the aid of equipment, we'll probably be scanning, confirming where and that we placed or loaded the pallets. I heard someone call a pallet a skid today. We'll talk about that on another episode. Just call them pallets. Okay, let's all agree a loader is not a general labor job. I'll give in a little and call it an entry-level position. And I'm only going to do that because there are so many places one can move on to from there. A loader is familiar with every item in our company, everything that we stock and ship. They work closely with auditors, the selectors, inventory control, and don't forget about the transportation side. We'll meet and get to know all the drivers and maybe the people from the fleet yard. The loader position is a skilled position. Any type of loading position is going to be a skilled position. I heard a guy say that he works with the nation's largest parcel package carrier and his job is just to load boxes in the trailer. No particular order needed, no scanning, no paperwork. He said it's a GL position when he was describing it to a person that was standing beside us. So I asked him how hard was it to get all the cases loaded as they kept coming down the roller conveyors. He explained to us how every box had been measured and that he had to make sure that everything fit, that it was like a huge jigsaw puzzle. I asked, could just anyone do it? And how long did it take him to learn to load that way, all by himself? He kind of grinned and said, okay, you made your point. Loading today is a skilled position. Now, unloading, loading, sanitation positions, and the recoup, salvage areas, along with the returns and valet clerks are not GL positions anymore. Try training for a warehouse sanitation job in today's world. It'll take weeks before we're turned loose by ourselves. We're using chemicals. Now, luckily, today, a lot of our cleaning compounds lean more towards the natural side, but we have to know how to use them. And as for unloading, well, that's a whole show on its own. With the importance of the breakdown sheets and the help that they give the receivers now, it's far from a general labor job. I wanted to know why everyone had a problem with the term general labor, but nobody would or could give me a reason. I'm still not sure why the position was being looked down upon. I feel a job is a job, and there's a job for everyone. I don't mean we should take a job that we don't like. As if you're a long-time listener, we here at WAOC believe you have to love what you're doing. Our jobs and careers are a long-term commitment. Better like them, right? Speaking of long-term, we're in week 46. Where are we all at with our goals? I'm having to make a few adjustments, and that's okay. I've done much better than I thought I would, everything being considered. I'm starting to think about my 2021 plans. I am definitely ready for 2020 to end, though. We'll be talking more about planning and goals in a couple of weeks. Let's all start thinking about them, though. Well, until next week, please remember that no matter what our job is, skilled or unskilled, that we understand our first priority is safety. Safety of ourselves and our peers. Safety at work and at home.